again everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz. And wow, today I want to look at the Centurion Mk1, the British Tier VIII Medium. And this came about because last night, I was meant to do a live stream, but I lost my internet connection, so I couldn't. So I had to do other things like talk to the wife and stuff. And that got me thinking, the British line. Everybody hates the British line. Even Wargaming know everybody hates the British line. Hence the reason why recently they gave the British heavies different consumables, because nobody plays them. And why does nobody play them? Well, they don't play them because everybody thinks they're pants. That's not strictly true. They are just very, very difficult to play. So what I decided was the following. I am going to run a campaign. Hashtag #PlayBritishTanks. And if everybody still hates them, I'm going to run a different campaign. Hashtag buff British tanks. Yay! Or buff the British. Either way, I want to look at British tanks. So I'm just going to play British tanks for the next few days. Nothing else. Starting from tier 8, mediums and heavies only, all the way up to tier 10. Because these guys have a reputation. They have a reputation of being rubbish. And strictly speaking, that is not true. They are not rubbish, as we will see. But they are not forgiving. As you can see here, HP, not too bad. View range, best in tier and class. DPM, average. Penetration, best in tier and class. Damage, worse. That is the thing. When you start looking at rate of fire, best in class. Reload time, best in class. Caliber, worst. Depression, best in class. Aiming arc, best in class. Speed, worst. This is the thing about this tank. On paper, it is really good. The thing that lets it down is that damage. What's the point of being able to penetrate tanks if you can't bloody hurt them? Now, if you go onto Blitzhanger, you will see this, tactics. And as you can see, not much is recommended because it's a tricky tank. And it has absolutely pants armor, apart from on the turret. So I thought, well, let's stick it against a tank that I know is pretty bad, and that is another tank that's unloved. That's the T69, the American Tier 8 medium, so it's a medium tank. And the thing that gets me is, if you look on paper, look, the Centurion Mk1 is a better tank. It's got a better reload. It's got better penetration. And it's actually better. It's got better credit coefficiency. Okay, it's got pants hull armor, but it's got a good turret. But this is what I want to look at. Look at that win rate. And look at that survival rate. This is, by the way, the second worst tank win rate wise in its tier and in its class. These are all the tanks, by the way, in tier 8. And if you look at them, they are all better except one, and that's the Panther 88. But that's only because 79 players have got it. So when you look at this tank, it is not winning, not by a long shot. This is what it looks like in the garage. It says there, damage is okay, rate of fire is okay. Actually, rate of fire is really good. Penetration is fantastic. And it says that armor is okay. But it's not, because look at that hull. The hull at 76, 51, 38. And that is what is letting the tank down, along with damage. The damage is pants, and that is the biggest issue with this tank. Or is it? Now, the thing is, it has a super fast reload. And because it has a super fast reload, if they were to increase the damage output, it would probably be a broken tank. You have to remember, guys, you are firing like 12 rounds a minute. And each of those 12 rounds will penetrate 226 millimeters of armor. That is pretty big. What I tend to find with this tank is that technically it is difficult to play. This is not a forgiving tank. That is not a tank you can frontline. This is certainly not a tank that you can YOLO in. You have got to peek-a-boom. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get it in a hold down position like this, and you've got to pick your targets. And you've got to use that reload, that gun angling to the maximum effect. Now, if they get round you like this, then you're pretty buggered, I'm afraid, because you can pile the pressure on, but you're not going to last very long, because your hull is so thin, everything will pen you, and I mean everything. Even a blind man with a catapult firing acorns is going to penetrate this hull. But that's not the point of this tank. I mean, I'm in a bad position here because the rest of the team screwed us up and I eventually died. This tank is hull down. This tank is meant to harry the mediums and the lights and the heavies. It's not meant to snipe, so don't sit at the back, but it's meant to be an annoying pain in the backside. And it does that to full effect, and it does it to great effect. You know, this thing, as I said, will pen everything. You may not get massive damage, but you can really, really annoy the other side. And if you get it hauled down, you will bounce. I mean, I've just bounced 400 from behind. You know, I don't know what he hit me with, probably HE. And this is the thing with this tank. It is technically difficult. And because it's technically difficult, people generally don't play it. And that's a shame, because just because you can't play the tank because it's hard doesn't mean the tank is crap. It means you're playing it wrong. And what I want to try and do is get the community to embrace these British mediums and these British heavies, to like them, to learn how to play them, to have fun in them, to see that they're not as rubbish as we think, because they're not. They're actually really nice tanks, but only if you play them in the role they are designed to be played in. Now here we are on Canyon, and I'm just going to sit here, haul down, and annoy the other team. And that is where this tank loves to be. It loves to be haul down, being a pain in the backside, using that reload in that aim, in that gun to full effect. And when you play it like this, trust me, it is a brilliant tank. And everything you see on paper, best reload, best pen, blah, 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 really starts to gel. And it does. I mean, I personally think the Centurion Mk1 is a nice tank. In fact, I think all the British tanks are nice tanks. I just think they're bloody difficult to play. And, you know, your run-of-the-mill player, or newish player, or inexperienced player, isn't going to do these tanks any justice. You've got to cool your head with these things. If you don't, you're going to get punished. I mean, I'm having fun here. Look, I mean, I can pen a Chrysler K easily, and I'm having fun here. You know, I'm in a great position. If they rushed me, maybe I wouldn't have so much fun, but they're not going to rush me. And I'm just going to sit here and farm. And I'm on the front line. You know, I'm not even bothering to cap B-cap. I'm on the front line, and I'm just going bang, 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 bang. And I love it. And that's what this tank has to do, guys. You know, if you stick it on the front line and you're not hauled down, you're going to get pained. You know, you're going to get deleted, you're going to get wrecked, because you're not doing the damage. You've got a great reload, you've got a great gun. But it's not all about derp. And this is the thing with these tanks. It's also about understanding how they work. Now, we did 2,790 odd damage there. It's a ratings game, by the way. I didn't get anything apart from a first class, but I got 52 ratings points, which was nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the British tanks. Why? Because they are challenging, and you really need to up your game to play these tanks effectively. Anyway, I've been Fujit. This has been the start of my little campaign. That has been the Centurion Mk1. Hashtag PlayBritishTanks. Get out there, guys. Give these tanks a bit of TLC. Embrace the British line in the upper tiers. And if we're still pants, let's go on to the next campaign to Wargaming. Hashtag Buff the British. That's what I'd like to see. By all means, comment, like, and everything below. If you haven't already, please press subscribe. Lovely thing to do. If you've got any decent replays, send them to me, fujitsblitz@gmail.com, or drop them onto my Discord server. Much easier. And until the next time, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. Because that's what it's all about, having fun and being happy. And hashtag PlayBritishTanks.